Hello YouTube, DrakeyC here, and welcome to my 2021 wrap video. First thing I'll say is this video is an open forum for the channel. If you have suggestions, ideas, feedback for previous content or upcoming content or anything, leave them below and I will absolutely read them. 2021 was really a transformative year for me as a content creator, and I mean that in a great way. I wanted to make Lore of Final Fantasy monthly, and I succeeded in that, save for a break in summer so I could do a different video and do a lot of Dissidia content. So I'm very proud that I was able to keep to that. And in the process, I've really gotten a view for the style I want to have with these videos, and also streamlined my editing process behind the scenes. So these videos are coming out quicker and easier than before, and I'm very happy with that. So going into 2022, Lore of Final Fantasy will continue, and will continue to be monthly. But I'm going to expand it a bit. There's actually not as many creatures I could do a Lore of Final Fantasy on as you may think. I have a short list of viable candidates, and there's not as many as you may think, because Final Fantasy has a lot of recurring creatures, of course, but not so many that you can really do a lore of video on. A prime example is the Malboro. Malboros are in almost every Final Fantasy game, but not a lot to talk about in terms of design inspiration, and they don't usually play a major story role or have any significant character to discuss. So lore of Final Fantasy on Malboro would not be very interesting, at least in regards to what I want the series to be. So, aside from creatures, I'm looking at like recurring plot and story elements, things like time travel, the crystals of course, the symbolism of the moon, things like the ancient civilizations that exist in each game. And I'm also looking at doing other analysis type videos like my Dissidia retrospective. I have one in the pipe now that's like a overview of each individual game that's meant to help newcomers to the series get an idea for which game they would enjoy playing for their first one. And I have some other videos an idea too. A Final Fantasy X video on why Japanese fans like it more than Western fans. Analyzing the Japanese belief of Mono no Aware. And if you know what that means, you know it is very important to Final Fantasy. There's a lot I could talk about there and analyze there. So we'll see what happens. I want to do more videos like that and keep them to the monthly schedule, because the Dissidia video did not need 2 months to do. I could do it in the same time frame as Lore of Final Fantasy, so that's my objective for next year. Just a moment. And speaking of Dissidia, I did not intend for it to take over the channel this year. It just kind of happened. I really do love the game. I was intending to do that retrospective type video before I really began Let's Playing it. It was just a matter of the Let's Play let me gather footage for it conveniently. It also gave me a good way to do recurring content to keep driving up views and get more content out there and put out content regularly. So the costume videos will end in February, at which point I'll be doing the storyline compilation videos, releasing them weekly. That'll take us about the middle of the year, I think. After that, may just let it go. I've considered doing storyline compilation videos for Dissidia Opera Omnia, the mobile game, because it actually has a lot of story mode content, and the storyline is actually pretty interesting and cool. So, I'm looking into technical issues with that, on how I can record from my phone easier instead of just literally recording on my phone and transferring the video files over. So we'll see what happens with that. Also next year, I'm going to be streaming regularly. First stream will be Final Fantasy VI, and it comes out February 22nd, and when it comes out, all other topics are paused. Since it does come out at the end of February, I can probably finish the Lore of Final Fantasy for that month beforehand, but then March is my week off to binge Final Fantasy VI. After that, I'm going to be streaming World of Final Fantasy. That game's always intrigued me. Everything I've seen from it, it's so adorable and so funny. I stand by that the dance party ending is the cutest damn thing Final Fantasy will ever produce. If you have not seen the ending of World of Final Fantasy, look it up. It's glorious. And it also seems to have a pretty interesting and complex plot, so I'm very interested to see what World of Final Fantasy is about, and I'll be streaming that after Final Fantasy VI, and that'll be fun. After that, not completely sure. Back when I was doing Dissidia, I was thinking of doing Crisis Core afterwards, because I know there's an HD texture pack for Crisis Core, and with Final Fantasy VII these days, Crisis Core seems very relevant. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long World of Final Fantasy will take to get through, and what the state of the franchise will be at that point. You know, if I end World of Final Fantasy in late 2022, and Final Fantasy 16 is coming out next month, you know, fingers crossed. Let's see. But yeah, we'll see what happens. In terms of the channel overall, my goal at the start of the year was to hit 5,000 subs, which did not happen. Little disappointing, but I don't care really, because I have seen my subscriber count grow substantially. I've seen viewer engagement grow. My videos are getting more views, more likes. My polls are getting more views and more likes. So overall, I didn't hit 5K. I don't care, because I've still seen a lot of significant, noticeable growth, and I'm very happy with that. Just a sec again. I'm asthmatic. The cold weather and I do not get along. I've also noticed, speaking of view counts, the Law of Final Fantasy videos are continuing to grow in view count as well. I think part of that is maybe just Endwalker coming, things like Alexander and Omega, people have been looking up them. But as it stands, a lot of those videos, in fact most of them, are reaching 1,000 views or over 1,000 views. So I'm very happy with that. Again, I am seeing growth in my channel, and that's what really matters to me. So I know absolutely in 2020 I will hit 5K subs, no problem. There was no doubt in my mind that that will happen. And after that, and of course I'll keep going beyond that. I don't think I'll hit 6K in 2022, but hey, who knows, you know. Maybe when I start streaming FF6 my channel will explode. We'll see. The only other slight disappointment I have is that my Patreon sponsorships have not grown at all. I had one at the start of the year, and I have one now. That I'll say, I'm not upset about that. Like, if you watch me, but you're not in a financial position to give even $1 a month, or you just flat don't think my content you don't want to support me financially, that's fine. That honestly doesn't upset me. I've been in that position both ways. So, I would like to see the Patreon grow. I have a link in the description if you do want to join. Even just $1 or $2 a month would be huge for me. But, yeah, you know, again, I understand if people don't want to. Only other thing I'll say on that is that I don't have anything to offer for rewards, because I have nothing to offer for rewards. If you have suggestions or ideas for that might incentivize people to join my Patreon more, I would love to hear them. I'm honestly not sure what I could offer. But that is the last disappointment. No Patreon, but it's a minor thing. Overall, the channel has done great. I've been doing great personally. I won't get into details, but I'm in a much better place now than I was at the start of the year. And I'm in a much better place as a person, a much better place as a content creator and a YouTuber. And overall, I'm just feeling great. And I want to thank everyone out there. Thank you. Everyone who watches my videos, who likes, who comments, who shares them around, who engages with me on social media, you make this worthwhile. This really is what I wanted to do with my life. I went to college to study video editing, and I wanted to be a content creator. I've known that for 10 years now. And to be able to create content for a video game franchise that I love, and for people to like that content and engage with it and enjoy it and tell me they love me, you know, compliments like, this channel is criminally unsubscribed, this is one of the best winning series on YouTube, those make my day every time. So thank you everyone for supporting me. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. So yeah, 2022 is going to be a big year. I know I'll hit 5K subs and beyond. I'm going to be streaming regularly. Law of Final Fantasy will continue, and will continue to grow and branch out into new topics. And also with Stranger of Paradise and Final Fantasy VI, hopefully Final Fantasy 16 news, it's going to be a big year for Final Fantasy, so it's going to be a ride. Social media links are in the description of this video, Patreon, Twitch, and Twitter. I stream on both YouTube and Twitch, so you can follow me on either one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just thank you again for everyone. It's been a great year for me, and 2022 will be even better, and I hope it's even better for you. I'll see you next year. Happy New Year, everyone.